this is the day that you have made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Hi, welcome to the Unity Center of New York City.
Broadcasting live from the heart of New York City, featuring new musical guests every week, with a message and meditation from Reverend Justin Epstein, your weekly destination for a wholesome message and meditation. Welcome to the Unity Center of New York City.
Okay, we're back.
Yep.
And we'd like to do a song by our dear friend Carl Anthony. This is a great sing-along, clap-along, dance-along song called I Can Do Anything. So let's do it.
2, 3, and 4. If someone tells you it's a waste of time, don't even try it. Don't be fooled, my friend. Believe in you can do it. You want the truth, you can do anything. Together now, I can do anything. I can do anything. I can do anything. I can do anything. Woo! Oh yeah.
Come on, I want to see you dancing.
How will you ever know if you'll succeed? Until you try it, you'll never know for yourself until you buy it. You want the truth, you can do anything. Together, I can do anything. I can do anything. I can do anything. I can do anything. Do you want to do something? Do what you've always wanted. Do you want to be something? Be who you've always wanted. Do you want to know something? Take every chance that's given. Do you want to say something? Say it, I can do anything. I can do anything. I can do anything. I can do anything. How you like it so far?
I like it.
If someone tells you it's a waste of time, don't even try it. Don't be fooled, my friend. Believe in you can do it. You want the truth, you can do anything. Together, I can do anything. I can do anything. I can do anything. I can do anything. Do you want to do something? Do what you've always wanted. Do you want to be something? Be who you've always wanted. Do you want to love something? Take every chance that's given. Do you want to say something? Say it, I can do anything. I can do anything. I can do anything. I can do anything.
I can do
anything.
I love that song.
I love it too.
I love that song. That was I Can Do Anything by Barry Cahill and Delene St. Clair. Such a good message in that song.
Ugh, I feel alive when I listen to it.
Same. Welcome. My name's Tramika.
And I'm Flo, and welcome to the Unity Center of New York City.
Yes, welcome. That song. It's so good. so flow. I met up with my ex this weekend. Speaking of I can do anything.
Wow.
And we were talking about how we overcame this really difficult situation. He was my high school sweetheart. We were so in love. You know, when you're that young, the love is so much deeper than what it actually is. And we spent every waking moment together. And after high school, I got an opportunity to move here to New York. So we had to decide if I should stay with him or if I should move. And we both had faith that I could achieve my dreams. We both believed that me moving to New York was the right decision. And we loved each other so much that it made overcoming that hard situation seamless and really easy. And now we're like best friends. And we were just talking how that's like not the norm to break up with an ex and like be friends with them. But yeah, being rooted in love and faith and belief can make you overcome anything. Isn't that interesting?
That is very interesting. I also feel like there was
Yeah.
an aspect of mutual respect and admiration for each other that like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, I feel like sometimes you, even though you can grow distant from each other, the whole point is to help each other grow in your own best way, right?
Yeah,
So
which is always great, like
I
growth, yeah.
love that story.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you so much. We'd love to hear any hard situation that you had to overcome, like a heartbreak or having to move somewhere really far, anything. So let us know in the comments below.
Yes, please share with us. We love to hear them. It inspires us. It gives us, I don't know, just so much hope for anything that we're going to overcome in the future. So we would
Yeah.
love to hear from you. And while you're sharing, please feel free to sing along with our next song, Something Wonderful by Harold Payne.
All right, let's sing along on this one. It's just something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body. I can feel it in my body. I can feel it in my soul. I can feel it in my heart. And it won't let go. Something wonderful. Oh, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Oh, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body. Oh, I can feel it in my soul. I can feel it in my heart. And it won't let go. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Yes, it is. Something wonderful. Oh, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. All this love inside. We can let it shine. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Oh, something wonderful. Oh, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Big finish. Something wonderful.
Something
Wonderful.
Such a great song.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's-
Something wonderful.
It is indeed. Welcome back. I'm Tramika.
And I'm Flo.
And we have some announcements and highlights to share with you today.
Yes, so we are broadcasting live from the Unity Center of New York City on 58th Street. And we are doing this for the time being and until we're able to see you again in person. So for your health and safety, just please enjoy us from the safety of your own home, that quiet place, wherever it is that you're spending time with us.
Ooh, yes, wherever that place is.
Yeah.
If you guys would like to stay in touch with us, you can visit our website where you can subscribe to our weekly newsletter and be the first to be notified when we post our weekly updates. You can visit us at unitycenternyc.com to subscribe, donate securely, or learn more about us.
About us. So we're talking about websites, we're talking about the internet. We wanted to just make sure that you're aware of something that caught our attention. All of the links that are going to be posted in the comments or next to this video are going to be from our official accounts.
Yes.
So from the official social media account of the Unity Center of New York City or Minister Justin Epstein's official account. If they're not, we really strongly recommend not to click on them because just for your own safety, we don't know what's out there. We want you to be safe.
Absolutely. We'll never, ever, ever ask you for your personal or credit card information. All the videos that you'll ever see online from us are 100% free. The only place that you'll ever see a payment form is during our prosperity celebration, where we'll post a direct link where you can consider a donation.
Yes, yes. What is safe is Facebook.
Yes, love Facebook.
Yes, so you can like and follow our page on Facebook where you can stay up to date with all of the changes that are happening here at the Unity Center and get some special content from Minister Justin Epstein each week.
Yes, definitely. And after you leave Facebook, run on over to YouTube where you can subscribe and view all of our videos online. For free, of course. So while we're doing our remote services, we're gonna post all of our videos online, so you can watch them anytime on our YouTube, our Facebook, or on our website, anytime you like.
Yes,
Yeah.
and liking our Facebook page, subscribing to our YouTube page, not only helps you stay up to date, like I said, but also helps us spread our message of joy and healing to, honestly, as many people as possible.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. So today, we're gonna talk about how to overcome hard situations, and to shed some more light onto that, please help me welcome Reverend Justin Epstein.
Thank you, Flo and Tramika. Now's the time for our prosperity celebration. We celebrate God's activity in our life. We celebrate Spirit's abundance, and we acknowledge that Spirit is the source of all our good. We appreciate your support of the Unity Center's ministry. Your support helps us to continue to do what we're doing and to reach even more people with our positive, inspirational, and practical message. So thank you for your support. As we have our prosperity celebration, we like to acknowledge also that we're involved in a principle of giving, that it's an actual spiritual principle, that we give in every area of our life. When we give through our thinking, our feeling, our words, we give through acts of kindness, we give through our actions, and we give through our prayers and through our time and meditation as a type of giving. And in every area that we give, we are opening out a way through which greater good flows. I don't know how it works, but that's the spiritual principle. As Jesus the Christ taught, as you give, you receive. So in the very giving, we're receiving. And so we like to acknowledge that principle in our prosperity celebration. So we invite you to take your gift and think and join in a prayerful acknowledgement and blessing, knowing that divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. Would you please join me in knowing this truth together? Divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. And so it is. Amen. In a moment, we're going to have a guided meditation, and that's a time of opening up to the Spirit that is within us. One of the primary unique teachings about unity is that we teach that God is within and expressing as every person on the planet. Now, they might be frustrating that divinity, we all do to some degree, but it's within everybody. It doesn't come into us through our belief, it's already there, and we're releasing it. We're letting it express. So during our guided meditation, which we'll do in just a minute, what we're trying to do is to quiet our mind and open our hearts and to connect with that source that's being us. So we'd like to lead into it with a song to help us get our attention focused and to help awaken up our desire to get still and feel that presence. So please join us now in singing with Cahill Delene, In the Presence.
Well, hello from Cahill Delene. We're going to do a song that we wrote. It's a simple little chant. Delene will sing, and then myself and the rest of you out there in Cyberland will respond. And this is called In the Presence.
I am here.
I am here
In the presence.
in the presence.
I am now.
I am now
In the presence.
in the presence.
I am one.
I am one
With the essence.
with the essence
Oh,
of all.
I am here.
I am here
In the presence.
in the presence.
I am now.
I am now
In the presence.
in the presence.
I am
I
one.
am one
With the essence.
with the essence
God is, I am, we are. God is, I am, we are. I am here. In the presence, I am now. In the presence, I am one. With the essence of all. I am here. In the presence, I am now. In the presence, I am one. With the essence of all. God is, I am, we are. God is, I am, we are.
I invite you now to get still with me. Find a comfortable place to sit, whether sitting upright in a chair or on a couch. If you need to support your back by putting a pillow behind you, please do that. And let's take a nice, long, cleansing, deep breath. And as we exhale, just feel your body relaxing and letting go. And send the message to the muscles in your body. Relax and let go. Beginning at your feet, relax and let go. And try to feel your body responding. I believe when you really bring your awareness to your muscles, you can sense the relaxation taking place. Becoming aware of your calves, your thighs. Relax and let go. Let your abdomen and stomach relax. Allow your arms and shoulders and hands to all relax. Relax the muscles in your chest and in your back. Relax and let go. Relax the muscles in your neck, the front and the back, and the sides. Relax your cheeks, your eyes, your nose, your ears, your whole face, your lips, your tongue, your forehead, and your scalp. All relaxing and letting go. And now scanning your body, and notice, is there still any place that is a little tense? You might want to just gently tense and relax that part of your body. Good. Relax and let go. The deepest yearning of our soul, I believe, is to experience inner peace, inner joy, inner love. We all long for that. It's just that we've been conditioned to look outside for it. Trying to find somebody to love us, trying to find a job or something that's going to give us security we want. And ultimately, although those things are wonderful, ultimately, our soul longs to know it from within. And this is a time to become still and quiet and to experience our true nature, our true essence as an expression of God. We are like waves in the ocean of spirit. And at the center of our being, there is a wellspring of peace, a wellspring of joy, a wellspring of love. And as our mind becomes quiet and still, our heart opens up to the truth of who we are, the image of God in which we're created. God spoke through the psalmist in the Old Testament saying, "Be still and know that I am God." Mother Teresa used to say that God is in the stillness. You can look at the trees and look in nature, and there's a stillness in the growing of the tree. We tune in now to the stillness at the center of our being. I invite you to Facilitate that stillness by observing the flow of your breathing. And as your breath flows in, mentally think the words, God is. And as you exhale, think the words, I am. God is on the inhalation. I am on the exhalation. And when your mind wanders, which it will, just keep bringing it back to your breathing and to the words, God is, I am. This is a spiritual practice, a very powerful one. And let's do this for a minute or so. Just watching the breath, mentally thinking, God is on the inhalation, I am on the exhalation. And now take a nice, long, deep breath and just be with yourself. Notice what you might be feeling in your heart and just be present to it. God is, I am. I am a spiritual being. I am. That's who I am. It's not the labels. It's not my position. It's not my job. It's not my sex. It's not my race. It's not my nationality. Who I am is I am. That's my true nature, pure consciousness, free from the labels, free from the judgments. I am being me. I am light, radiating as me. I am love and joy and peace, all that Spirit is. And I let my light shine now. I let all that God is expressing and radiating through and as me, I allow it to happen. I let it happen. And I know and trust that my friends and family are all uplifted in this consciousness. And I know and trust that all people everywhere are uplifted. May every soul on the planet, every person on the planet, experience their divinity, experience their true nature, their true essence. May every person awaken to who they are, their true I amness, their God nature, their divinity. This is our prayer. This is our awareness. And we let it unfold. We let it express. And we move into the rest of our day, trusting that this activity is unfolding and expressing in our thoughts, our feelings, our words, our behaviors. And when we get out of tune with that, we just make the effort. We notice when we're out of tune. And we make the effort to get back in tune. No condemnation, no judgment. Just let me get back where I was after the meditation that I had earlier today. Or, in fact, it can be helpful to think back to a meditation you had to recapture that feeling, that sense of peace and poise and calm and joy and love and light. We bring our awareness now back to the room, back to our body, wiggling toes and fingers, and just feeling grateful for this time together, knowing that we are joining people all over the world and knowing the truth of our spiritual unity, our spiritual oneness with Source, with Spirit, with God. And so it is. Amen.
We are part of something greater, part of something greater than any one of us could ever be. We are part of something greater, something so much greater than any one of us could ever be. We are all joined together in our hearts and in our minds and in our soul. We are part of something greater, something so much greater than any one of us could ever be. We are all joined together in our hearts, in our minds, and in our soul. We are part of something greater, something so much greater than any one of us could ever be.
There's a lot of turmoil in the world. There always has been. The question is, how is it affecting you and me? Do we get caught in the turmoil and believe that it's causing us to be upset, that the things that are going on are making me nervous or fearful or anxious, or something someone said or does makes me angry. Well, it's understandable if that's been a person's attitude. We're kind of conditioned that way, I think. We're conditioned to believe that outer things make us feel a certain way. We've been conditioned that way. And there's certainly a lot of support from people around us who believe that. Yet, St. Paul said, do not conform to the world. Don't be squeezed into the mold of the world, but be transformed from within. And that's what we want to talk about today. We want to talk about how do we move through this life without getting our buttons pushed so much, without letting the external turmoil keep us in turmoil. Isn't that something you would like? I do. Stephen Covey, the author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, talked about an experience he had that changed his life. He was on sabbatical in Hawaii and was in a bookstore there, a library, and he came across a book amongst all these stacks of books. He pulled a book off the shelf and he opened it up and he said, I turned to a phrase that forever changed my life. And it said, between every stimulus and response is a gap. And in that gap lies your freedom. The thing that someone says or does or people do or things that happen or don't happen, that's the stimulus. How we respond to what happens is our choice. There's a gap between what happens out here and how we respond to it. And that's where our freedom is. Do we want to be reactive? No. Do we want to have other people, do we want to give the power to other people to push our buttons? Do we want to give the power to life to push our buttons so that we just react to what's going on? We give away, as the Bible says, your dominion and authority. We give away our dominion and authority when we say, she makes me angry. Or, I'm scared to death about this situation. Now, because of what we've been conditioned, I'm certainly not saying get upset with yourself because you are upset or angry or fearful. No. Have compassion for yourself. Have compassion because that's how we've been conditioned. But what I am saying is we don't have to let people and situations push our buttons. Someone once said, if your buttons are getting pushed, it means you have buttons. We have buttons. We have triggers inside of us that get pushed. So the main thing we have to decide for ourselves is, do we want to be a victim of what goes on in the world? Do we want to have other people pushing buttons that we have, that life pushes our buttons? Or do we really want to be free? Those of you, and I know probably you who are watching, has experienced the peace of your spirit, the joy of your spirit, the calmness of your spirit, the power of your spirit. And you know how fulfilling and good that feels. And you probably would like to be in that as much as possible. Is that true of you? Say yes, if that's true of you. Because I'm going to tell you, a lot of people don't know about that inner joy, inner peace, inner contentment, inner fulfillment. They don't know that. All they know is moments of it, if ever, when the external conforms to what they want it to be. Someone compliments them. Oh, I feel good. I feel appreciated. I feel loved. Someone says, I love you. Oh, I feel loved. Or things are going well and they have a sense of peace. But let's be honest. The world is always changing. And that same person who says, oh, I love you, and gives you a big hug, might be upset with you tomorrow. I'm not being negative. I'm being real. United States of America, land of the free. And yet, look at what we face today in our country. The challenges, the division. There is no guarantee for our freedom and our happiness. It's not going to come from the government. It's not going to come from things working in the outer exactly the way we want them to. No. It's got to come from within ourselves. Not saying we're not going to change things in our life, because sometimes that's necessary. Changes have to happen. Leaving that relationship might be the right thing to do. Leaving that job might be the right thing to do. But I'm going to say that a lot of times that may not change anything. As one person who left his job because there was a guy there who he couldn't stand. So he left that job, and a few years later he came across a former employee or friend at work. He said, hey, how's it going? He said, I left because of that one guy. Now I got 6 just like him. No, it's important for you and me to make a commitment to grow. Make a commitment that I really want to. I don't want to get my buttons pushed. I want to live in God. I want to live in spirit. I want to live in my true nature, my true essence. And not a lot of people are there, and even we, I get off kilter here at times myself, moments. And I don't care how spiritual you are, there's going to be things that push your buttons probably every day, if you're honest. If you're honest with yourself. And those are wonderful moments, because those moments show us where our consciousness is, and it gives us an opportunity to grow. So one of the things that I would like to emphasize today is, instead of blaming the outer, blaming people, blaming situations for how we feel, and that seems to be a natural tendency, a tendency to look outside and go, I'm feeling this way because of him, because of that, because of this. I like to say, let's use that as a trigger to remind us to go within. To go within and to acknowledge that, all right, I'm feeling annoyed right now. Or I'm feeling scared right now. Or I'm feeling sad right now. And it was triggered by what just happened. It was triggered by what was just said. It was triggered by this situation. But you see, that's different than blaming. It's because of that I feel this. No, that's not what's happening. What's happening is, probably we've had a situation in the past that was similar, and it's triggering that. And it's coming up for us. I was playing golf not that long ago, and actually recently. And we were driving the cart, and somebody from the group behind us rode up and said, You're not supposed to drive the cart on the fairway. Read the sign in your cart. He was annoyed. And I said, yeah, our cart says that on certain holes you're not supposed to drive on the fairway, and this is one of the holes that you can drive on the fairway. That's not what's in my cart. My cart says, winter rules, stay off the fairway. Well, our cart said you can be on the fairway, just not on certain holes. I pointed to the guy in the cart. I said, my friend, I said, look at the sign in our cart. Fake news. Fake news. Interesting. They were operating on the information they had, and we were operating on the information we had. And it was different. It said, don't drive the cart at all on the fairways. Our sign said you could do it on all but certain holes. He got really upset, and it came across in his tone of voice. That happens. Look at America. People have different information, and they're reacting to their information. And that's true every day of life. We all have our information, our past, the way we've been conditioned, our experiences that we've had. No one's right and wrong. We all have our own perspectives. And our buttons get pushed. But what I'm saying today is, notice when your buttons get pushed, because it means you have buttons. None of us is so spiritual that we don't have buttons. And instead of blaming other people for how we feel, let's be aware of the feeling. Let's let ourselves feel what's there. Because a lot of people, I think, are afraid to feel. They're afraid to feel what's there. They're afraid, if I feel my anger, I might hurt somebody. So they pretend they're not angry. Or they blame, because it's easier to blame. It's easier, why are you, that person who came up in the cart, don't push me around. Why are you telling me this? Our sign says something else. Your sign says something. You can let it trigger you and get all upset. But it's always a choice. So what I did was I noticed that I felt a little annoyance. Yeah, there was a little bit of annoyance. But I was committed to choosing my response, to not reacting, because he had a point. His sign said something different. And I thanked him. Thanks for letting us know. We have different sign. We have different information in our cart. Thanks for letting us know. How are you about feeling feelings? Have you judged your feelings? Do you think that some feelings are weak? I've known people who think that sadness is weak. They don't want to feel sadness. They think sadness is weak. Here's the thing. Sadness often comes from hurt. People get hurt. Somebody says something and they get hurt and they feel sad. And immediately, instead of feeling the sadness, they go into anger. Why? Because anger feels more powerful. Anger feels more like you're in control. Anger feels less vulnerable. But anger is not more powerful than sadness. There's nothing wrong with sadness. Sadness is not weakness. If you see a lot of angry people, which we're seeing these days on the news all the time lately, I believe deep underneath the anger is hurt. Underneath the anger is sadness. People are hurt. They're sad, and then it becomes anger because anger is more acceptable. Sadness is vulnerability. And I know people, I've known people where I can say, you know, I feel sad that you said that. And they get disgusted because they don't think sadness is weakness. It's not weakness. It's part of being a human being. And we all have it. Jesus was sad. When his friend Lazarus had died and everyone was crying, Jesus wept. He was sad. How are you with your emotions? Do you judge emotions? Do you think you're too spiritual to be angry? Do you think you're too spiritual to feel lust? Do you think you're too spiritual to be sad, or that sadness is weakness? Well, I'd like to encourage you to let yourself feel whatever you feel without judging it. Because when you do that, what happens? It loses its power over you and over me. It dissipates. Now, it may take its sweet time sometimes to dissipate, but it dissipates. A friend I was playing with, he got a little annoyed by this guy in the cart. And he told me, you know, a couple of holes later, he said, gee, I was so calm and peaceful and feeling free, and now I'm ruining the day. I said, well, let's enjoy you ruining the moment. Let's enjoy that now. Let's become aware of what we're feeling. And that's what we can all do. That's how we grow spiritually. That's where the work is, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we grow spiritually. It's not just through meditation and affirmations and visualizing. It's about recognizing what we're feeling inside and not resisting it, not pushing it away, not making it wrong, not looking outside and blaming people or situations for how we feel. It's being present to what's going on inside of us. And I'm saying we can do that. We can do that because we're not our emotions. We're not the mind. You see, what happens is people feel the anger and they react. He made me angry and I'm the anger now. We let ourselves go into the emotion, and now we are the emotion and we're reacting. Instead of standing back and going, okay, I'm feeling this. It was triggered by that. And now I can observe it. I can watch it. I don't have to react from it. Michael Singer, who wrote the book, The Untethered Soul, wonderful book, he says when you get triggered, to relax and lean away. He says that instead of going with the emotion, as we're tempted to do, and one of the reasons we're tempted to do, as Gay and Kathleen Hendricks talk about in their books, is that when you resist, when you argue, there's an adrenaline rush. And adrenaline is addictive. People get very hooked into adrenaline. So when we have an argument, wow, we produce adrenaline and that feels wonderful. We're addicted to adrenaline. That's why you can be having one of the reasons, you can have a wonderful moment in a relationship and things are going really well, and then all of a sudden, bam! Or things can be kind of humdrum in the relationship, and all of a sudden, bam! Argument. What do you mean by that? Oh, I don't know. Well, you know, because of adrenaline. It goes back to how much do we want to grow? How much do we want to be centered in peace and joy and wisdom and love and light? And how much do we want to get into that adrenaline rush? So we've got to really commit to growth, and then we've got to realize that we can be present to emotions, all of them, whatever they are. rather than getting sucked into them. As he says, relax and lean away. When we're relaxing, we're not doing anything. When you relax, you're not getting into the emotion. You know what he said to me? No, relax, relax. How dare you try to push us around? No, relax, relax, relax. Lean away. In other words, those emotions and the external drama is very enticing. It wants to pull us into it. You know, we get sucked into it. Relax and lean away. Don't go the other direction. If you're sitting across from somebody and we said, lean away from that person, what would you do? You'd lean away. You know what to do, right? You lean away. Well, when the emotion and the sadness and the fear starts to come about, we can get all up in it, or we can relax and lean away. In other words, find a way to not get sucked into it. Take a walk. Get still, pray, meditate, talk to someone. Turn on the television. You know, get some distance. Get some perspective. It's almost like if you could stand back and look at yourself from a helicopter. You know, you're looking down at yourself. You're getting perspective. Experience what's there, yes, but don't react in it. Don't jump into it. Now, we're going to do that. We're going to fail. We're going to let ourselves react at times. And maybe sometimes it's the right reaction. Maybe it was appropriate to get angry in that situation. Maybe you did need to be a little bit of annoyed. Sometimes people don't get the message unless you do. But if generally speaking, you're practicing this, it's more likely going to be appropriate for the situation. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about trying to live from our center, right? Not live in reaction to life, but rather to get centered and still. And when things get triggered, to get back into our center so that our actions and our reactions can flow from wisdom, can flow from joy, can flow from love, ideally, right? Wouldn't it be nice if the United States of America, Republicans and Democrats, could come from a place of wisdom and centeredness and say, hey, let's work together. It's our country. We want what's best for everybody. Let's work together. Let's figure this out together. Instead of the reaction and the, and coming from all the emotion, let's get still. Let's tune into some wisdom and some objectivity and work together. But don't look to your leadership to teach you that. Look within yourself. Practice it. Become your own leader in leading yourself to tune in to the Christ within you, the divinity within you. I recently came in touch with, I saw an interview of Alice Hers Summer, who was taken into a concentration camp when she was about 34, Terezin concentration camp, and they learned that she could play piano. She was a classic pianist. And she was taken into the camps with her 5.5-year-old son. And it was a camp that was for the officials of the camp. So they would take very talented prisoners, and they would have them, in her case, play the piano and entertain the officials. She knew that her life and the life of her son depended on entertaining these officials every single day. And she played beautiful music. And the interview was amazing. She's 108 years old in the interview, 108. She was the oldest surviving Holocaust person. And she was asked in the interviewer, didn't you ever feel hatred toward these people in the camps? Toward the Nazis? And she said, no, never. Never did I feel hatred. She said, hatred destroys the soul of the hater, not the hated. She was asked, how were you able to, weren't you ever bored in the camp? With nothing much happening? Weren't you bored? She said, no, I was never bored. Because my son loved me and I loved my son. And so there was that exchange of love. I was never bored. She said, I know there's bad in the world, but I look at the good. I look at the good. Wow. This is a woman who lived in a hell on earth. But to her, it wasn't that way. She was like, well, it can't be so bad because I'm able to play music. I have music. And even when she couldn't play, she could remember the music. She could think about the music. She said, I hear people complaining, nah, 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 nah. And she says, it's really not so bad. The things you complain about are not so bad. That is coming from someone who knows. Someone who knows. So I would like to encourage all of us in these times. They're tough times. There's uncertainties. We don't know things that are going to happen, but do we ever? Really? I think a sense of certainty anytime is somewhat of a delusion. But what we can do is transcend the turmoil of our own minds, transcend the turmoil of our own reactions by committing to rise above, by committing to be present to the emotions that surface within our being, by committing to not blaming and blaming the outer world for why we feel what we feel, but rather being present to what surfaces and seeing that as an opportunity to transcend our own turmoil, to let the emotions surface so they can pass through, so that we can heal on a deeper level, so that we can get in tune with our spiritual essence. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to do this work. All we have to do is turn on the news to see people who don't understand that. All we have to do is to walk down the street and realize people don't understand that. You and I need to understand that. You and I need to practice that. This is what's going to help peace on earth. This is what's going to bring harmony. It's for you and I to lead ourselves in being present, to relax and to lean away so that healing can take place within our own being. And I know that's possible. And I know you can do it. If one person can do it, you can do it. As Jesus said, in the world you have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. He overcame the world. Just like what we're talking about today. He overcame the world, not by getting out of the world, not by running from the world, but by transcending the chaos, by turning within, by knowing his unity with Spirit and living in awareness of that presence. And this, my friend, when you do that, you grow spiritually and you help to uplift all human consciousness. God bless you.